Welcome to this video. I'm pretty sure I made the title something like How I Healed from XYZ. In long story short, in 2014, I met a predator online. He almost trafficked me. His family also ran a trafficking ring. I don't know if they're still active. And then in 2015, I was legally kidnapped by what's called a transporter. You can look this up. A minor's guardians will sign papers to temporarily hand over their custody to these people who are paid to abduct kids from their homes, usually in the middle of the night. Usually it's violent. I was peaceful and it happened for me in the afternoon, and the people that legally abducted me were like nice for the most part. I mean, they weren't mean. It was just humiliating when they were holding my hands behind my back and walking me down the stairs of my duplex that I was living in and across the street to their car in my neighborhood in front of everybody. And I was being treated like a criminal because for no reason. I was just the scapegoat of an abusive mother rather, which a lot of that has, healed now. And I have been establishing boundaries and doing my very best to navigate this very, very difficult relationship. It is not cut and dry. It's not black and white. It's not simple, but I am healing from it, and I'm doing so much better than I ever have been with all of this stuff. And so my main answer to the title of this video, How I Healed from These Things, first off, I will say healing is not linear. I am not one and done healed. I have not done the healing deed and now I don't need to heal anymore. I am a human being. I am a living, breathing organism, and life is unpredictable, and circumstances change, and things arise in my memories and in my physical life that bring the past up. And sometimes I'm still affected by it. And, I'm really strong, really good at some things, and other things I'm more vulnerable around. And so, there's always room for growth, and life is always changing and in flux. But one of the major things that I developed that has helped me heal from being abused, being dehumanized, being narcissistically gaslit, being brainwashed in a cult, was cultivating my intuition. Why, you may ask? Because intuition is the one internal sense that does not require anything measurable externally to be validated as true. When you get to the point where you can close your eyes, put a blindfold on, hold a photo in front of you, scan it with your fingers, and identify different forms, identify different colors, identify different textures, and then open your eyes and you see on the paper what you saw inside, and it makes sense. And you cultivate that skill more and more over and over, and you learn to rely on your inner knowing, your gut feeling, your internal sense. And especially as a survivor of abuse, it is our sovereignty and our power that is often robbed from us, our innocence that is robbed from us. So learning to lean on your intuition can give you the gift of healing and being able to recover from something that at one point felt irrecoverable from. Like the damage feels irrevocable. If you're in a cult, if you've been abused, if you've been raped, if you've been gaslit, if you've been abducted, if you've been kidnapped, if you've been malnourished, mistreated, physically abused, whatever it is. These are all very, 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 very upsetting things, very triggering things. But yeah, when you can learn to lean on your intuition after having basically your sense of self continually invalidated and robbed from you by not just one person in a context where they're being called out by someone else who sees the bad they're doing, but by a system that is designed to drag you down, dehumanize you, watch you fall, and manipulate you and literally prey off of your vitality, off of your life force, because that's what a cult is. That's what a trafficking ring is. That's what a narcissist is. These are all institutions, structures that prey off of vulnerability. And if you've never been through abuse like this, then you cannot you will never know what it's like. So many people, it's frustrating and invalidating sometimes that people, think that you can just write it off and say like, oh, just take responsibility and change your circumstances. And while that is true, we need to take responsibility for ourselves and our circumstances. It's like when you're a victim of abuse as severe as being in a fucking cult, being raised by a narcissist, like literally when your primary imprint of it's like people are biologically wired to return to the parents over and over and over. I saw a video the other day. My Siri on my laptop just went on and I wasn't even talking to it. So, okay, yeah, you can be quiet because I wasn't talking to you. That was freaky and weird. Anyway, when I was watching a video the other day of a little like baby fawn, like a baby deer, being attacked by its mother and was being rejected by its mother, but the fawn kept on following the mother, and the mother kept on hurting the fawn and pushing it away and rejecting it. And the fawn was literally biologically wired to go pursue the mother until it was abandoned. And even so, it still pursues the mother. And people are no different. So, next time, if you've been through something similar, next time someone tries to tell you, tries to write it off as something as simple as just taking responsibility and removing yourself from the situation, it's like, okay, while that might be the only option or the right thing to do, or something that seems like it would make sense, it is going against your entire biology. So this is just one insight into how profoundly insufferable it is to be abused by, whether it's people you trust, whether it's your own family, whether it's an institution, whether it's a romantic partner, like whatever it is. It's unbearable. It's dehumanizing. It creates this sense of dissociation. But the one thing that I've been able to discover and use to actually genuinely heal and genuinely rediscover my core identity beyond the abuse, to literally free my psyche of identifying with, being a victim of these things, or even feeling as much sorrow when I recall the memories of the things that were done to me, or the ways that I was treated. The one thing that helped me liberate those things was cultivating my intuition, cultivating my psychic abilities. And this is something that I teach, and I am planning on organizing some sort of course or something. It's still kind of in the works in my mind, but I want to teach it because I want to empower, survivors of abuse to rediscover their spiritual identity beyond the ways that they were treated and manipulated. Especially those who have not lost their sensitivity, especially those who, no matter how many times the world tries to, beat them or hurt them, they never, ever, ever let go of that precious, soft, graceful, loving, forgiving part of their heart. And they might already identify as, a spiritual person or like a child of God or whatever. I think these are all different terminologies for, what I view is, all the same at its core. You're a sensitive soul, you have a massive heart, and even though you've been through insufferable abuse, you still have compassion, you still have the capacity to care so deeply. And so it's dissociating sometimes, seeing how you are able to love so much and care so much, and yet some people just, they don't even consider, they don't even think, they don't even bat an eye at some things that to you mean so much, like, helping a bee, they get stuck in a lake or something, or like feeding a street cat, or like, whatever it is, watering a plant, or like not stepping on a plant, like if you're running around not stepping on a plant in a garden or something, or like not plucking a flower because it's pretty, but just letting it stay there. You know, it's like you're sensitive to those things. And for me, like cultivating this subtle, intuitive, psychic awareness, that sense has been so empowering because it's allowed me to protect my sensitivity, not only to protect it, but to honor it and to elevate it and to use it as a strength, as a superpower, as a weapon that literally cuts through the abuses, that cuts through the illusions. So I just find this really cool. I am so excited to share this. And one way that I do share this from my own, you know, heart to my own expression is through different videos I have of, you know, readings, channelings, whatever. I do offer psychic and intuitive readings. So if you feel like you want support or guidance in any particular area of your life, I am here. I'm happy to support. And I will absolutely share, you know, as I release content that can help you learn to cultivate your psychic abilities, your intuitive abilities, reclaim your spirit, reclaim who you are, reclaim your you know, holy, natural, God-given identity beyond, you know, what was beyond, yeah, just how the world and all of its offensive things robbed you from, you know, your true self. So I hope this made sense. I hope this was helpful to hear. If you're excited about this idea or you think it could be helpful for you, please feel free to leave a comment. I'm open to questions. Please leave any questions you have in the comments, and reach out, you know, reach out if you want to chat or if you need anything, or yeah, if you want to work with me. And that's it. Sending love. See you next time.